Hello there and welcome back to another video with me, Coach Adam, owner of Soccer Roots, a soccer program in Los Angeles. If you have not heard of us, then please check out our YouTube and our Instagram and our Facebook and all of those other avenues. If you live in LA, please just give us a call. We coach kids from 18 months to about 12, 13 years old. Our focus is development ahead of when they go on to play at high school and stuff like that. Today's video is going to be talking about video games. Now, I hear a lot from parents about video games and iPads, and there's a lot of criticism that goes around, I guess we call it the modern generation, and about the usage of iPads and screens in kids' lives. But today I wanted to do a video where we talk about the positives of playing one game that I absolutely love, which is called FIFA. I've had every single copy of this video game since 1998, which shows you my age. But today I wanted to talk about the benefits of using a video game, specifically FIFA 20, which is on PS4, Xbox, all those usual platforms. So the very first thing that I think that FIFA does is it just gives the kid awareness of the game, that the game exists and it's bigger than outside of their own thoughts. You know, when you're a kid, you tend to be very much self-obsessed in the sense that you haven't really been made aware of the bigger world, the other countries and other systems going on around the world. That's absolutely standard for children. So what video games can do, or in this sense what FIFA can do, is just make them aware of soccer, that other people are playing it, that other countries are playing it, and what they can do to aspire to reach the standards of guys like Messi and Ronaldo. So within that, the very first thing that you can kind of notice when you turn on that game is that there are loading screens. So within the loading screens, they have put in drills and session ideas, which you can directly lift. These are session drills that basically coaches around the world will be using in their own programs, whether it's at Real Madrid or Wycombe Wanderers or, you know, Galatasaray, wherever you're watching from. And you can take these drills and actually go and run them. You can run them in your garden, you can run them at your kind of park, you can run them within your own team, and it's a really good way to kind of learn. So definitely use those loading screen drills to help you, and they're really fun. And what better way to get kids to actually engage in a sport in the beginning than just making it even more fun than it is when they're playing at an older age, right? So the next thing I wanted to talk about is it makes you aware of positions within the field itself. Now, most soccer at the youth level tends to look very bunched up. I call it bumblebee football or bumblebee soccer. The kids are all in a hive and they move back and forth like the Muppet Show. So just playing a video game and watching that the game itself is spacing players out, kind of goes off in the kid's brain like, oh, okay, well, I guess we should be standing in space. And the coach is saying that to me every week, so I guess he's right, or I guess she's right. So that's a really good way of looking at it. Awareness of the field, awareness of where players stand, and then awareness of things like formations and stuff like that also. So that's a really good way of looking at it. The next thing that's kind of cool is that it breaks down every single player in professional life into a chart of attributes. So say you're a really fast player, you might have, I think the fastest guy on the game is 96. His name is Traore, he plays for Wolves in England, and he's like a rocket. So he gets 96 allocated to his speed attribute, but his shooting would be like 75, whilst like Messi or Ronaldo is probably at like 90, 93 for shooting, something like that. So it teaches kids that you're breaking down the game and you're breaking down the player into individual attributes and skills, which in turn, if you develop those, make you a better player. Because there's a big focus on kids, and specifically in youth soccer, on scoring goals only, which of course is wrong. You want to be able to coach kids to understand that it's a rounded game and there's passing, dribbling, tackling, heading, awareness, vision, all of these things come into it. But this makes it real cognitive to the kid, that if a video game does it, oh, well, I need to improve my left foot, I need to improve my right foot, because the game will punish you. If you're a player that's primarily right-footed and you shoot with your left foot on the game, your shooting accuracy goes down. This is a good thing to teach kids because it makes it relevant to their own kind of learning. The next thing is that it just bonds families. I remember as a kid, I'd get the game at Christmas or around my birthday in October, and I couldn't wait to play with my dad, you know, or my mum or whoever. It was so exciting to me. And you'll get that if you're a parent watching this, you'll get that with your kid. They're going to want to play with you. So please do, because it means a lot to children. And in doing so, it drives their passion. And passion, of course, then is something which leads to more learning. And then once you've got them hooked, that's when they can really accelerate. But the initial hook can come from something as little as dad plays FIFA with me, so I understand that we have that together. So I think that's a really important thing not to overlook, is the bonding of family and of course the bonding of friends. The next key point, I think, which is really relevant, is the reality of the game. Now, kids will get the ball, and there's two outcomes really. If they're a kid who's kind of not really scared, they're going to dribble towards a group of people boldly and probably lose the ball by maybe the second or third defender. The other person is the one that gives the ball away instantly, kicks it away instantly. So within that player, the first player will play the video game and they will dribble towards 3 computer characters and they will lose the ball. They'll do it again. They'll do it again. And at some point, the light bulb will go off and they'll go, wait a minute, what should I have done? So then they're going to pass the ball. Now they'll directly apply this to their own game. The coach is going to tell them that anyway, but if they keep playing it on a video game and realizing that if I dribble the ball endlessly and don't pass it, I will get tackled. Or the opposite, if I just punt the ball away endlessly and don't retain the ball, it's going to go to the other team. So that sounds obvious, but for a kid and someone who's young learning the game, these little nuances are really smart to help us kind of understand where they're at within their own learning of the game, not from just a technical standpoint, but from a tactical standpoint. The next one, and I'll do a video on this also, but the variances within the game. So when people say, oh, today we're learning passing, and I hear a coach say that, I always think, well, that's weird. You can't learn passing as a singular. There's so many variants of passing. I can think of 5 just off the top of my head now, such as, give and go, a direct pass, a chip pass, a chip through ball pass, a flat through ball pass, a bent pass, an outside of the foot pass. So all of these things can be taught to us just by going, oh, what was that? I remember the very first time I played FIFA when I was a kid, there was a button that said you have unlocked outside of the foot shooting. And I thought, well, what's that? So, you're going in, and rather than using your opposite or your weaker foot, you would actually shoot it with the outside of your stronger foot. So little things like that are kind of cool to teach kids, that there's so many variants of it, and that you will find yourself tapping the buttons to try and deliberately cause these moments to happen. So there's another really good thing, just unleashing the knowledge of how many hundreds of things you can do with a soccer ball, when in reality, I think when you get to a field, you basically do dribble, pass and shoot 3 things. Well, within each of those 3 things, there's another 50 hidden things. So that's cool. And really, that's it. There's obviously other things in there, but for the most part, I think the interaction of people is important. The learning of the game, of course, is important, but then just finding the passion and putting in those hours on a screen, for me, made me want to go outside and practice also. So I think it's a really good thing. So don't shy away always from video games and screen time. It's like anything in life, just find that balance. And I recommend you go out and buy that game and have some fun tournaments. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Coach Adam, Soccer Roots.